Hi guys, you are welcome back to my channel. Thank you for liking, thank you for subscription, and thank you for always stopping by. So today we are going to be cutting a straight skirt, and before you start that, you are going to place your tape rule up with 2 inches. That is indicating your skirt band, and from there you're going to measure the length of your skirt and then add the folding allowance. So this chalk that you are seeing here is already the skirt length, and here we are going to chalk out the folding and sewing allowance, which I added 3 inches. You can add like 2 inches, 1 inch, depending on the length of your fabric. So after getting all of this, then we can now proceed into measuring our hip line. The same way you place your tape measurements, raising up 2 inches for the skirt band, then you mark your hip line. The hip line I'm working with is 9 inches. So from that 2 inches upward, I'm going to chalk out the 9 inches and then I will square it out. So after squaring it out like that, you are going to measure your so looking at this fabric, I folded it into 4. 2 is on fold, which is for the front, and the other opening is for the zipper allowance. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Then we move to our waistline and measure the waist divided by 4. My waist is 28, divided by 4 is 7 inches. And then I had 1 inch for that allowance and then 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. I hope that is clear. Then you move to your hip line and do the same. Divide your hip by 4 and add your sewing allowance. The dart will not reach your hip, so you don't need that allowance on your hip. You just add the sewing allowance. Then we move to the hem of the skirt. Whatever you have on your hip divided by 4, you go ahead and do the same on your on your hemline, but you are going to subtract 4 inches from it just to have a fitting. You can go ahead and reduce 5 inches, 4 inches, depending on how pencil you want it to be. So I'm going to reducing my own by 4 inches. So I have 32, 8, and then 32 divided by 4 is 8 inches. So I measure the 8 inches and add 1.5 sewing allowance. Then you connect the dots. You connect the waist measurement to the hip and then to the hem. Then the same thing with the sewing allowance that you added. You are going to add you connect the dots like you see me doing. You connect with your master pattern. Look at it. So you use the curve to measure it and connect everything all around. You connect the measurement and then you connect the sewing allowance like you see me doing. I don't have excess at the back of because I've already measured my hip divided by 4 and added my allowance. That is why you see that there is no much allowance to cut off. So this system will just help you and reduce the waste of fabric once you fold it into the exact measurement that you need. So we are done connecting the dots. So after doing all of these things, you go downward to the M allowance. Look at it. 3 inches that I added for the folding allowance. You are going to extend the allowance and the measurement downward like you see me doing now. So you extend it so that when you want to shape, it will be effective on the M2. Now before cutting, you have to fold it in. The reason you are folding it in is that when you use your lining to drag it up, it's going to relax so perfectly well on your body. So they cut out the excesses. So after cutting it out like that, you can just, okay, we are done cutting. Now we move to the dart part of the skirt. We move to the dart part of the skirt. From the front, the folding side of it, we move to that part. Then on the waistline, we are going to measure our bust span divided by 2. My bust span is 7 inches, and I hope you know that our bust span is nipple to nipple. So whatever you have there, you're going to divide it by 2, then you mark it out. So as to get the length of the dart, you are going to go up from your hip line by 1.5 inch or 2 inches, depending on how you want it. But I go up by 1.5 because I want to remove any excesses that may be folding on my hip. So you square it out, your bust part divided by 2, then you square it out down to that 1.5 inches that you went up with. Then on both sides, you go in and go out. You come in and go out with half an inch, like you see me doing. Then you connect it down to that 1.5 inch. Connect it like so. The same way you connect the other side. Perfect. Now we have our darts all squared out. Then you can now notch the center to know exactly where your dart is going to rest on your fabric. Both front and back, notch it together. So we have it all notched out. Now, our front waist is not as straight as the back. If you look at the under abdomen, we have a curvy kind of abdomen. So you come down by half an inch and then connect to the side of your skirt in a curvy way. So use your pattern master to just curve it out like so. With that, your waist band is going to sit perfectly well on your waist. After joining it together, it's going to sit perfectly well on your waist. So with that, everything is going to look relaxed on your waist. Now we have it all cut out. You can just notch out the front dart again just to make it look perfect. Good, we are almost done with our skirt. We are almost done with it. So yeah, that's just it. That's it. Then we'll go to the band. We need to cut out the band, and in my next video I'm going to show you how to sew everything, how to join the band to the skirt. I will show you in my next tutorial. So you fold your fabric into 2 like this, and you measure from the folded edge. The reason you are measuring from the folded edge is because our waist is 28 and we are going to measure it divided by 2. So 28 divided by 2 is 14 inches, and we are going to be adding excess 2 inches allowance to it. The reason for that 2 inches allowance is that we added 1.5 inch for our zipper allowance. So 1 inch of it is going to go into our zipper, and we're going to be using the half to turn it in. I hope you get what I'm saying. When I want to sew, you're going to get it better. So you fold it into 2 again like you see me doing, and make sure that this time around when you are folding it, it is relaxing perfectly well at 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. By the time you open it up, it's going to be 5 inches. So we are going to be using half an inch to sew it, and everything is going to be 2 inches on fold, and when you open it up, it's going to be 4 inches. I hope you get it. So that is how to chalk out your waistband. It's just a straight kind of a thing, very straight band. Just cutting out a straight band and chalk it out, square it out, and we are good to go. Just square it out. Yeah. So after squaring it out, you can go ahead and cut your waistband. So with this, we have come to the end of this tutorial. In my next video, I'm going to be showing you the output of this skirt, how to join the bands to the skirt. I'm going to show you how I will do that. I'll see you in my next video. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it has been helpful, and don't forget to like my post. Also, please subscribe to my channel. This will encourage me and make me come up with more tutorial on this channel. I love you guys. I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye bye.